Nod y cynllun grantiau adnewyddu cymunedol oedd cefnogi prosiectau yn y gymuned trwy annog datblygu a gwella cyfleusterau pentrefi a seilweithiau cefnogi eraill trwy fuddsoddi ar raddfa fach. Mae'r cynllun wedi cefnogi prosiectau sy'n gwneud argraff weledol ar gymunedau ac yn cryfhau balchder y gymuned yn yr ardal trwy weithredu lleol fel cynlluniau gwella ar raddfa fach, enghraifft cynlluniau plannu ac adnewyddu nodweddion hanesyddol lleol. Mae Cymorth Cymdeithas Mudiadau Gwirfoddol Powys wedi cynnwys grantiau bach i gynyddu neu gadw amwynderau lleol hanfodol, fel neuaddau pentref, canolfannau cymunedol, arosfannau bysys, seddi cyhoeddus ac ardaloedd chwarae, yn ogystal â darparu astudiaethau dichonoldeb i gefnogi prosiectau newydd sbon. Bu hefyd yn bolisi mynd ati i annog defnyddio darparwyr lleol ar gyfer pob prosiect cyn belled a phosib. Mae hyn wedi golygu bod y cynllun wedi bod o fydd i ystod eang o fusnesau lleol, fel adeiladwyr a rhai sy'n arbenigo mewn adnewyddu. Pentref yn Nyffryn Afon Seni yw heol Seni, ger Bannau Brycheiniog. Mae neuadd pentref Seni, sef adeilad yr hen ysgol, wedi cael budd o gyllid sylweddol i ddatblygu ei chyfleusterau, gyda'r pwyllgor yn derbyn grant gwerth 25,000 o bunnoedd i godi bloc toiledau newydd ar bwys neuadd y pentref. Richard Noget yw ysgrifennydd pwyllgor neuadd y pentref ac mae wedi chwarae'r rhan fawr yn y prosiect.
Well, Seni Village Hall was originally the village school, and in the late 1970s it was purchased by the community for a nominal sum from the county council, and it's functioned as a village hall since then. Some years ago it was realised that the state of the building was deteriorating, and in particular the outside toilets, which we had at the time, were starting to become quite a big deterrent to people attending events, particularly in the winter at night and things like that. And so we identified the replacement of the external toilets with a new interior toilet arrangement as a key priority. And as I was on the committee, I was asked to bring together some plans to make that happen. The problem we had initially was that we were too ambitious, and we found that we couldn't get funding for a very elaborate scheme, which caused us to scale back our aspirations. And so we raised a small fighting fund from a number of events that we ran, which then enabled us to get planning, and then we could go to funders with some sort of decent proposal. And we found then that people were much more receptive to the whole concept, and Pavo in particular were very supportive. Claire gave us a lot of support and help and encouraged us really to put forward a scheme when I think we were concerned that, because we'd had some setbacks in the past, that because the number of people who directly benefit are not great, that funders often tended to shy away from that type of project. But Claire certainly encouraged us to believe that Pavo would support us, and in fact they have, both financially and spiritually through the process. In this valley, just about every family is connected with the hall in some way or other. We have 60 people on the electoral roll or thereabouts, and 12 trustees. So every farm has a representative, either directly or indirectly, in the hall itself. So the volunteers were really already on board. We concentrated very much in this project because of its slightly specialist nature, being a construction project, to use the volunteer time in terms of fundraising rather more than practical hands-on stuff, because that's very difficult to organise in the current climate of health and safety, and the fact that the specialist trades are needed. Although we did some limited work on the building ourselves, the volunteer effort was really focused on fundraising to match fund what funds we were able to get from other people, and that was highly successful. The role and importance of the volunteers was, I suppose, to demonstrate as much as possible to funders that there was community buy-in. This is something that funders are obviously very concerned about, to make sure that the majority of people in the community want this project to go ahead and are prepared to back it either with their own money or their own time. And I think that the fact that we were able to demonstrate that we raised significant amounts of money through different types of fundraising. We had a sponsored walk, we had a concert, we've had race nights, whisk drives, all the standard stuff. And we pushed the frontiers in terms of geography a bit, and then we were able to get a high level of community involvement, which I think is very important. I think it's very important because we don't have any other building in Senni that can function as a community centre. We have no shop, no pub, no anything like that. So we are very much committed to using this hall for local events, everything from children's parties at Christmas to Gastepton, and every major event that happens in the valley is based on here. We have a highly successful sports day in September, for example. So the fact was really that the hall was becoming almost impossible to use for events because of this toilet issue as much as anything else, and because a lot of our users are elderly, and a lot of the events take place in the evening and during the winter. This was actually starting to be quite a big deterrent, and numbers were dropping off at events because people thought, well, I don't want to have to face going outside partway through the proceedings, and that's a very real and genuine sort of concern, I think.
The Community Renewal project is all about improving the level of facilities for communities in Powys whilst taking account of their needs and aspirations. The project came about from Pavo's previous experience of running grant schemes in Powys and knowing the needs of its communities, so it was a really good opportunity to provide funding for groups that may not necessarily be able to access funding to improve their facilities. The communities benefit from enhanced facilities that they may not have had before. I like to think of it as the ripple effect. The effects are far-reaching and go far and wide, and businesses benefit from work being contracted, local suppliers also, so it was a real community-based project with lots of people benefiting. It's just been absolutely brilliant, the impact that it's made for communities in Powys, from north to south. It's made a huge difference to a lot of people.
Mae math hollol wahanol o brosiect y mae'r cyllid wedi gefnogi yn cynnwys adnewyddu cofeb V013 ger Aberhosan ar gyrion Machynlleth. Roedd V013 yn newyddiadurwr rhyfel enwog iawn i'r BBC, ac ar ôl ei farwolaeth yn 1990, mae ei gofeb wedi bod yn fan adnabyddus i gerddwyr gael saib, gan ei fod yn wynebu copa uchaf Eryri. Mae Carys Matthews o Gyngor Diogelu Cymru Wledig yn siarad am y prosiect a sut y sicrhawyd ac y defnyddiwyd y cyllid.
Dechreuodd y prosiect yn 2009. Nath o ddechrau am bod aelodau wedi mynd na, wedi sylwi bod y gofeb mewn cyflwr sâl, a dyna pam nathon ni benderfynu i trio codi arian i adnewyddu'r gofeb. Gathon ni bres i adnewyddu'r gofeb i gyd i roi panel fyny sydd yn dweud hanes am V013 a podcast sydd hefyd ar ein safle we ni i chi dadlewyddio. Nathon ni gael yr arlunydd gwreiddiol fewn i wneud yr gwaith i'r gofeb, a hefyd gathon ni adeiladwyr lleol i wneud dipyn o'r gwaith hefyd, achos nhw'n nabod yr safle ac yn gallu gweithio efo'r tywydd. Dwi'n siŵr bod y gwaith wedi wneud o'n well. Mae bobl wwan yn gallu mynd i'r safle ac yn lle edrych ar y goffeb, maen nhw'n gallu edrych ar y panel wwan a maen nhw'n gwybod hanes V013 a'i perthynas efo CPRW hefyd. Yn yr 80au penderfynwyd CPRW roed y goffeb yna yn teyrnged i Winford Vaughan Thomas, achos oedd o'n llywydd is llywydd a cadeirydd CPRW yn y gorffennol, ac wedi bod yn aelod am llawer o flynyddoedd. Roedd Winford Vaughan Thomas yn newyddiadurwr yn y rhyfel ac hefyd yn boblogaidd iawn yng Nghymru.
Etifeddiaeth y cynllun grantiau adnewyddu cymunedol oedd gwelliant go iawn yn amgylchedd a bywyd beunyddiol nifer fawr o bobl ledled Powys.